This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield and his better half, Marney Winfield.
Check.
Check. Check
Check a microphone.
Check a microphone.
It is the 3rd of August, 2023. My name is Corey Winfield.
My name is Marney Winfield.
And this is the 217 Recovery Podcast. We have a very special guest from a very special location, and we'll have him on here in just a second. But Marney, I wanted to ask you, because you haven't been on, well, people can probably guess where we're at now.
It's a little obvious.
Yeah, a little bit obvious, but haven't had you on, or you haven't been on, since you have been done with the old college stuff.
I know. I'm completely done. It's amazing.
You like that?
It's amazing.
What are you going to do now to ruin my life? No. No, I mean, I don't know. You're going to have so much, well, not so much time, but because you're very, very busy. But, like, it's got to feel relief. It's got to feel good. You've accomplished a goal.
Mm-hmm. It's, you know what? It doesn't really feel real yet. I was with all my peers doing our last kind of hurrah project presentation, and we both were all talking amongst ourselves, and we're like, so now what? Like, there's this kind of element of, like, I don't know, not emptiness, but, like, you know, like figuring out what's next.
Yeah. And I'm just so proud of you, and it's just to show you that, yeah, you can fall off a little bit. I mean, obviously you've been going to school for quite some time, but, you know, to be 27 and finish it, you know, I mean, it's great.
Yeah, sure. No, I want to say because why it's so significant is because I did start graduate school when I had one of my attempts at getting sober back in 2007, and I'd shared this on the podcast before. As you know, I had a relapse, and I would just withdrew because I was like, I'm not going to fail school. As much as alcohol had gotten in the way of my studies, I never had failed classes because of it. I squeaked by a couple times. I mean, my grades hurt some because of it, but yeah, I wasn't gonna fail any classes, so I withdrew, and then it took up until 2 years ago that I reapplied to go back, and I had to do all the work to get my credits transferred, and luckily, that worked out. So here I am with a LLMSW degree. I know. Yep,
and there's a lot of people out there that think that they can't get back on their feet, and they're too old, or they're too this, too that, too busy. And you're proof that, no, you're not too old, and you're not too busy.
Right.
I mean, you prove that.
Yeah.
It was crazy, but...
It would, you know what, I mean, I don't know if I would have done it differently in terms of going full-time or part-time, but I pushed through it, and, I kept my chin up, and, it worked out good.
It's good. You're an inspiration to so many.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I have a special guest here, so I hate to take your words. A bee coming at me. Shoo. What do you tell them? Get out of here. So, yeah, let's go to the special guest. And joining me to my left is a man by the name of Scott Schulten. And, Scott, this is your second time on the 217 Recovery Podcast. How's that make you feel that it's your second time on?
Oh, it's great to be back. Actually, it's my second time.
You think it's your third?
Well, it doesn't matter. Third, ninth.
Well, I was using your equipment.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was kind of a trial run. That was good. That was fun.
And you had nice microphones, and now you're using my equipment. What are you holding on to in your hand there, Scott?
I've got a pretty firm grip here on Corey's microphone. It's a double fister.
Yeah, it's quite small.
Nice soft tip, though. It's a nice microphone.
Yeah, it's...
Hey, Alexa, how you doing tonight? Everything good?
I'm pretty stressed, but I'm pretty sure we'll make it through the night.
Oh,
thank you, Alexa.
Make it through the night. Well, if you need help, you can talk to us. We got a therapist over here. We got a drug counselor, or drug people.
We got you covered, Alexa.
Got a podcast guy.
So that's the manager up on the suites floor, Alexa, here at the ballpark, just a bit outside.
Yeah, we are at the ballpark. We're at the Pit Spitters in Traverse City. And, man, I love clapping like that. Everybody clap your hands.
Yeah, that's new. I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah, Now, we were just here. You had us as your guest on the other day, on Sunday. And it's a nice night out today. We had like a little tornado scare before or something, but
Yeah, the weather was intense for about 20 minutes.
it was pretty nuts. But hey, speaking of nuts, I want to talk to you about something that you have going on. And Justin just talked about it the other day on our last podcast, and he was saying that he listened to your podcast,
All right.
which is the Reservation Conversation, and he was like, it was really good. So, like he was like surprised. I'm like, well, of course it's good. Scott can talk. Scott knows what he's doing. Are you getting a lot of feedback?
Yeah, actually, I appreciate that very much. Justin's a good dude, you know. I appreciate his feedback. He's probably got more experience with this than I do, but yeah, I've had some really good feedback, really good comments. I had my sister and their family out in California, Southern California, chime in and listen. My brother, who lives over in Turkey, southern Turkey, right on the Mediterranean, he listened, and he's proud and said it was pretty good. It's for them, for my family, because they've heard my journey here in the last 14 years or so. So they've heard some of this, but they haven't heard it formatted, kind of formal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, with a little structure to it. So they liked hearing it in that presentation that way. So that was fun. That was good. I'm glad I got to hear that. And then some community members, of course, the community that we serve with Reservation Conversation is really a small community of natives and Indians, and so it's good. It's good feedback there. Beautiful studio, and we're working on it. It's going to get better. Right now, it's kind of messy, but yeah, we're really fortunate, and it speaks to my journey so far. I heard Marney talking a little bit ago, and I heard a lot of gratitude in what she was saying. So for me, that's gratitude is what I call my house where I live. It's just called the Gratitude, and it's been key. A lot of people always have an attachment or a hook or whatever, and mine has been if I haven't had gratitude during my early recovery, I probably wouldn't appreciate everything I have today, and which isn't much, but you don't need much really. It's so many of the simple things in life that going like this, to a ball game with friends and coworkers. Those are just like so important things because we're doing this, and we can do this without the threat of the drink or the drug, and have a lot of fun. And in fact, even though we see people with a drink in their hand, I feel further away from all of it. Just being here with other people, because the vibe at a ball game, of course, is always really, really good. So yeah, gratitude for me is what it's all about, and trying to remain humble. That's not always easy for me, but I get bougie.
You do, and I've seen your studio, and yeah, it might be messy, but it's messy with nice things.
Right.
It's like you don't just have. Well, you do have the copy machine, so I would say you don't just have papers just everywhere, but a copy machine just happens to be in there. Stuff like that, but. No, and when you get it all dialed in and put together, and once you have time, man, like you work for the GTB tribe, and you're at the behavioral health, unit, not unit. Words they're hard.
No, the entity that is behavioral health with the tribe. It's
that's what I meant.
It's a pretty fantastic machine that we've got there. Very understaffed at the moment.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Didn't want to say it because it would be rude. Let you do
that's
it.
Fine.
But you are, and I think, and that's good because that's opportunity for other people in the future, in the near future, maybe. So that's good. But once that kind of settles down, and you're not so rush busy, I think then you'll have time to sit down, put things together.
Absolutely,
and I'm really looking forward to seeing how that's gonna play out. And right now, if you want to listen, you can go to the reservationconversation.com, or you can go get the app, which is in the Apple Play Store and the Google Play Store. It's called Res Podcast, but if you search for Reservation Conversation, it'll pull it up. It's kind of a long one, Reservation Conversation, to put on a little button on an app. So Res Podcast does work. And
yeah, Corey Corey's been really pinnacle and spearheading that whole design and everything, and it's because of his experience and his trust. We trust him, and he's artistic that way too, and he's had a lot of experience with broadcast and podcasting. So we trust Corey 100%. And that's why he's doing what he's doing, helping GTB, and I felt really strongly having Corey a part of it just for that reason, because I still, going back to being humble, it's important to me to have mentors, and having people that I recognize that have put in a lot of work. I'm willing to put in the work too, but someone that can help me and help our team get through the process without making a terribly large amount of mistakes. We still have to make mistakes to grow. That's how you learn. But it's been really helpful having 217 and Corey and the team be a part of what we're doing. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Scott. That's very nice of you to say. We're going to test these microphones out to see how good they really are. And I'm going to have you say all that all over again, because I liked hearing you say those nice things about me. But, it's what inning is this in, like the middle of the second? And apparently it's a dance party in the middle of the second. And there's a fire over there?
A big fire.
And that's coming by not my house, thank goodness. That would be kind of the mallish.
Looking like it, yeah. Right by Applebee's.
Eating good in the neighborhood. Maybe they're grilling out.
Yeah.
But no, that's Scott. That means a lot that you said all those nice things, but I don't know if people heard them. But you put them in a letter for me, and I'll put that as a testimonial on our website. But no, it's been a pleasure, man. It's been really fun to kind of watch it grow, and it's been interesting, sometimes frustrating, just for the fact that how, like, when I do this podcast, I'm the CEO. If I say, yep, let's do it, I can do that, and when it's somebody else who works for a different company, a different organization, you're not the head signer guy,
right.
and there's protocols, there's people that have to go through it, and there's a reason for that, I mean, if your company had 40 yous and me's, we'd have helicopters, especially if you told us we couldn't have it, we'd be like, well, we need 3 of them then.
And we'd be at our ball field right now.
Yeah, we would. But that's the checks and the balances, And of course, we have a board too that kind of keeps me in check most of the time too. But a lot of times, I'll just pay for it with my own money, because then I don't have to get approval. So I like it. I just like it. And then not that the company is going to go away anytime soon, but if it ever does, I'm like, well, give me my microphones, give me my computers, give me my stuff. See you later. Here's your car keys.
Wow. Yeah, I don't get to do that where I am.
No.
There's a strong accountability matter there.
But at the same time, it just takes more time, I guess, is what I was saying.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, it's a good thing, and like I said, it's been fun. And the fact that you invited us out here, we're sitting in the box. I should have described that earlier too. We're sitting in the GTB suite, and we are pretty much right behind home plate, little off to third base side, but this is probably one of the best suites here. See the whole field, and the pit spitters, which we found out on Sunday, like the baseball team, they're not all from Traverse City, stuff like that. They're kids that are in college, early college, or maybe about to go to college this year, and they're kind of playing for some money, for some tuition fees, I guess. And so these kids are from all over the country, and then they spend the summer here. And I think Kathy was saying, or maybe it was you, Scott, that they find, like, I don't want to call them like foster homes, but like,
yeah, they're host homes.
And they just kind of hang out in the summer, and then they impregnate all the women in Traverse City, and then they leave.
Yeah, so drink all the beer.
Just kidding. Maybe. I'm sure that's happened.
Soak up all the sun.
How many times do you think that has happened?
Each week, or
no? Like, I don't know how long the pit spitters have been here. It used to be the beach bums. So I'm assuming about 7 years.
20, I think a little longer than that.
27, 15. Okay, so not 27. So I'd say 5 pit pit spitter babies or beach bum babies. 20 years. I'm still saying 5. I don't think it happens all the time. These are young kids. And, back 20 years ago, they were more cautious, I think.
Yeah.
About, because we had rappers like Domino, you remember him?
Yeah. Oh, man.
The Digital Underground.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for crying out loud, their album was called Sex Packets, which was another word for condom.
Uh-huh.
We got kids up here. We're going to
the old skinny.
PG-13. Yeah, whoa, that's a smack to... Oh, he drove them all the way back to the wall. Bounced
And
over.
it went over the wall.
Ground rule double. Man, that right fielder was on his horse. He didn't think he had much pop, but he did.
So, yeah, the Pit Spitters became the Pit Spitters in 2019. Prior to that, it was Beach Bums. And the Beach Bums and this organization and field was founded in 2006.
Okay. Does it say who owns them? The owner.
Who's the owner?
We're checking with our team right now. We have producers going on, and what are you doing, Marney? Oh, she's watching birds on her phone. So as we look to find out who the owner is, because I'm going to make sure he doesn't hear this podcast, because they're like, I don't appreciate you coming out there talking about my baseball team impregnating people. Well, prove they didn't.
Well, I'm sure he's no stranger to controversy and having to shake hands and kiss babies.
What if he's like Traverse City's Jerry Jones? He's got babies popping up all over. Like, I just get the phone and get pointed to Traverse City Pistons, the members of the Northwest League, blah, blah, blah. Pistons share managing partners with the principal ownership with the West Michigan Whitecaps, a affiliate of the Detroit Tigers. Yeah. Okay. They share managing partners and principal ownership with the Whitecaps. Okay. I don't know those people, but they're down in Grand Rapids, or Comstock, or whatever they say they are. But I think was that another double off the wall. Wow, man, that smoke is just. Look, it goes. Oh my gosh, what does that mean when it's black smoke like that? You don't know either. I don't know.
It's not.
You want to do some more irresponsible broadcasting?
Yeah, that's not good when it's that color.
We know
And
that
it's coming out at that rate too.
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm the only one who's doing irresponsible broadcasting here. But yeah, like over to the yonder, there is some smoke. So, but look, it goes all the way from there, and it has this big old cloud over here. It created all that, Scott. I was going to stop it. No, I was just showing them that the smoke went up to these clouds, which go for hundreds of miles. But Scott, I'm just going to wrap it up, though.
Yeah, man.
Kind of like we did in the early 2000s.
Wrapping it up.
I appreciate you coming on, and maybe we'll do a podcast of yours in just a minute, and then nobody will know any different.
That's right. Yeah, because we brought our mobile studio with us too.
Well, but you might want to use my little microphones. They're so convenient, and I bet people that looking up here are like, "Wow, those are some really cool broadcasters." They're holding them with their little. It's like we're drinking tea.
And good looking.
Hold your pinky up. Hold your pinky up.
They're thinking those guys must be somebody. They must be a somebody.
Yep, broadcasting live with the little microphones. That's okay. I didn't want to go through customs again, you know?
Right.
But these babies are right in my pocket. But, yeah, so Scott, thanks again, man. And if you want to check out his podcast, I recommend you do. Reservation Conversation. My mom listened to it. She liked it. She actually thanked me for sharing that episode a few weeks ago.
Oh, I appreciate that.
She's like, that was really, really good. Thanks for sharing that.
That's a nice honor, yeah.
But until next time, Marty, you want to say goodbye?
Good night, everybody.